right, so let's go into what happened. What happened? Are you going to shit yourself?
No, I'm fucking hungry.
So let's go into what happened. Okay, on May the 7th, there was a very, very large withdrawal on Anchor, which is also associated with the Terra Luna project. That is their DeFi protocol. And Anchor dropped $11 billion of total value locked on the May the 11th. Also, on May the 11th, and this was after the whole price issue thing, happened, which we will revisit here shortly. So on May the 11th of 2022, the Do Kwon, proposed this idea that the algorithmic protocol was too slow in order to keep the UST and Luna burn mint, thing, in check. So they had to, and there's always a community that has to vote on it, certain governance type things. So they need to, that was them basically, their first attempt to try and save it. Speed everything up.
All right.
So, this is realistically what we know. What we know, what we can prove, because it is, evidence on the blockchain. There was a single wallet that sold $285 million of US Terra, UST, on Curve and Binance's exchanges. So, typically, a transaction of that size gets done over the counter. So it does not affect price. Typically. Now, both of these two exchanges also back their own stablecoins. So, that leads us into Charles Hoskinson. Charles Hoskinson. Basically the man behind Cardano. He came out and he posted on Twitter, and this is all alleged. This is not, confirmed or denied or anything at all like that.
Right.
He has alleged that he has received a message from a person that is going by the name of Anna, that BlackRock and Citadel schemed to crash Terra Luna and UST.
Did she say why?
Did not get a why, but we'll get into that here.
I mean, you have to have something to get. You have to have something to gain.
So, okay, well, BlackRock, as we all know, if you haven't seen our, Elon Musk buying Twitter videos, where we discuss the big three, we will say, go back and check them out. Now, okay, BlackRock and Citadel, this is what happened. They borrowed 100,000 Bitcoin from the Gemini exchange. Now, that can actually be confirmed because it is on Gemini's books.
Okay.
So, we know they have, or had at this point in time, this Bitcoin.
Who allows them to borrow Bitcoin?
The exchange.
Okay.
It's basically like a loan.
Okay. So Binance or whoever?
No, this was from Gemini.
From Gemini, okay.
Because that would be very malicious if Binance lent them the coins in order to do this.
Right.
That would be very, very malicious, and there could possibly be legal implications if that happened.
Right.
However, the way it went down, I do not believe that there are. We will see. So, what they did, they converted, or allegedly converted, 25,000 of those Bitcoin, which is 1/4, to U.S. Terra, which equates to $750 million.
Okay.
Now, granted, it might have been a little less, depending if they did this, and I assume they had to have done this over the counter. So, then, this Anna also alleges that they contacted Do Kwon, knowing that he was buying up Bitcoin, and offered to sell him Bitcoin at a discount for U.S. Terra, UST. At a discount. So, obviously, that would be an appealing aspect if everything was on the up and up. Then what happened was, I mean, we haven't heard from Do Kwon to verify that this is what happened, which is going to be the smoking gun, realistically. So, if this transaction went through, according to this Anna person, which it did, what they did was BlackRock and Citadel dumped their Bitcoin, dumped their UST on exchange, and crashed the price of everything. And that is why we saw a terrible, terrible week in the crypto markets. Everything was down. Everything was down like 20% basically all week.
Right.
So, while they're doing that, they are shorting. They are shorting Terra, they are shorting Bitcoin, and they are making hell of profit.
Right.
To me, yeah. I mean, I just don't know what to say. That is one of the... If this actually comes out to be true, this is one of the dirtiest plays I have ever witnessed in a financial market.
Well, I mean, it definitely shows you something about the not being regulated, the cryptocurrencies, and that they can be unstable. I do think for example, Bitcoin isn't going anywhere anytime soon. So regardless of what they do, they're going to make their profit, but they're not going to lose.
Yeah. Well, just in reference, when that 285 million got sold of the UST, it kind of crashed the price of a stable coin down to 65 cents.
Right.
Then what happened was the Luna Foundation started selling the Bitcoin and returning the supply and market cap on the stable coin back. It recovered to 93 cents, and then there was another massive capitulation event that crashed it all the way down to 21 cents at one point in time for a $1 peg stable coin. And keep in mind that was all started with $285 million. If this happened and they bought 20, or they converted 25,000 Bitcoin into UST, they had 750 million to play with, roundabouts. I believe that this was a malicious act, personally.
So
if you have anything to do with one of these big three companies, you ought to be looking at yourself in the mirror and wondering how you live with yourself.
They go to bed sleeping on their billions of dollars, their millions of dollars. They take that money.
The people that run the companies.
Yeah.
But I mean, they get all this money from somewhere.
I think in life, especially with certain like big corporations and stuff like that. I think people kind of sell their souls when they're working for these corporations. They know that some of the things they do may not be morally just, but that's how they get paid at the end of the day. That's how they feed their families, and sometimes it's hard to do the morally right thing when you people depend on you.
I mean, they always say money changes people.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's just. I mean, a lot of people got wrecked. You know.
Yeah.
On Terra Luna, because like I said, it went from $120 a coin a month ago, basically, at the point in time.
I will say this: anytime you put all your eggs in one basket, you're asking for it. You don't. If you had all your money and depended on Terra Luna, and just Terra Luna, then you were setting yourself up for failure, and that goes along with probably every cryptocurrency. I can say that other than Bitcoin, I can see, depending on Bitcoin, but it's going to have its ups and downs too. If you are just, and especially even just cryptocurrency in general, if you're just have all your money in cryptocurrency and expect that to do all the work for you, you could get lucky and you might succeed. But if you have your money spread out, if something bad happens to cryptocurrency, you have something to back it up.
Yep, very, very true, very true. And it should also be noted that there was an accusation that Janet Yellen, head of the United States Treasury, put BlackRock, incentivized them to do this.
There's a lot of corruption. A lot of corruption in the government. I mean, we can't prove it, but we can't.
And it'll never be proved.
Deny it, right?
So, at the same point in time, that gives them all the ammunition they need to attempt to bring in regulations, particularly on stable coins, which I think they are the most terrified of, because that will be the immediate combatant to their CBDC when they are ready to release it. So, that's what we got. Banghead Financial talked about the Terra Luna disaster, CPI data. Government corruption, possibly.
Right.
Financial corruption, definitely. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm of course Gregor Guy.
My name's Casey.
And everyone, keep your head up, and we will see you next week.